Hello everyone! For today's experiment, we're going to create musical water jars with these 5 jars and some water. We will also be using food coloring to make it look colorful. Before we get started, let's go over our objectives. Today's objectives are create different musical sounds, create secondary colors from primary colors, and understand sound waves. Are y'all ready? Let's begin. To begin the experiment, I have these 5 empty baby food jars. Notice that whenever I tap each one with this wooden stick, they have a similar sound. Before I add water to the jars, I'm going to add food coloring so we can see the water better. So here I have red, yellow, and blue food coloring. Red, yellow, and blue are primary colors, which means they cannot be made with other colors. With these 3 colors, I'm going to make secondary colors by mixing them. So the first jar will be red, so I'm going to add about 8 drops of red food coloring. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. For the next jar, I want to make orange, but I don't have orange food coloring, so I will mix 1 drop of red, and 1 drop of yellow. The next jar will be yellow, so I'm just going to add 1 drop of yellow food coloring. This next jar will be green, and I don't have green food coloring, so I'm going to add 1 drop of yellow and 1 drop of blue to make green. It's 1 yellow and 1 blue. The last jar will be blue, so I'm just going to add 1 drop of blue food coloring. Now let's pour some water into the jars. It is important to remember that each jar will have a different amount of water in it. Let's add some water. Now that we have got water in each jar, let's tap each one to see what sounds they make. Do you hear that? Before we added water, the jars sounded the same, but after we added water, they sound different. Why is that? When I tap each one of the glasses, the stick creates a sound wave that travels through the water inside. The pitch of the sound, how high or low it sounds, depends on the rate of the sound wave's vibration. The lower pitched sound comes from slower vibrations, while the higher pitched sounds come from faster vibrations. As you can see, the more water a jar contains, the slower the sound of the wave's vibration. Fun fact. Did you know that sound travels about 4 to 5 times faster in water than it does in air? So, water is affecting the speed at which sound waves are traveling and vibrating. Now that we have created our musical water jars, we can play songs. Can you recognize this song? With these musical jars, you can create your own songs. So now we're going to go back to our classroom so you can create your own musical jars and your own musical masterpieces.